It'll be right between the eyes.
Gimmicks, setups, techs, and everything cool. It's time to level up. Lovely with Razor.
Hello everyone, Smooth Razor once again. It's been a while since I posted a video, so as you can see from the title, this is Scarlet 4-4 Ultimate Pressure Guide. So I'm going to be covering the different things the opponents can do and what you can do to stop them, and just let's get straight into this video. So the first thing I have on my list here is dealing with jumping / slow buttons. So what this means that if you go for your 4-4 and the opponents try jumping or going for slower buttons, these are the options you do. So now I'll go to rain real quick. Okay, and I'll record Scarlet. So if you do a 4-4, you normally if you do the 4-4, you do that, right? So if the opponent try jumping, they'll get clipped by that, right? So that's what this is all about. So usually if you do not use the right tool, normally for dealing with jumping, there are tools that you go for that the opponent can jump over and punish you, but these very options are always very good. So now I'll start with the first one, that's the forward 4-3. So sorry, so let's try jumping. I can't jump neutral, let's see. Can't go backwards, and slow buttons like the slower folks you can't. But of course the problem with the forward 4 is that at times it trades or the opponent to poke you out of the forward 4, but we'll get to how to deal with faster pokes. So now another option you can do with Scarlet apart from the forward 4 to deal with jumping and slow buttons is the back 3. Let's record that real quick. Sorry, that's a fast button. Slow buttons, right? You see, and jumping, it covers jumping as well. Then another option we have too is the forward 2. So let's try a slow poke. Let's try jumping. Then another option we have is the sweep. Slow poke. Let's try jumping. And you know, Scarlet's 4-4 is plus 6 on hits. Your sweep is 15, meaning that the sweep is going to come out at 11 frame if you can get it almost frame perfect or frame perfect, 11-12 frame. So you can beat a lot of slow options and jumping. While the forward 2 and the back 3, the forward 4, those are 13 frame. So if you can get it right, those will be coming out in what? I think they'll be coming out in, oh man, I'm so bad at maths right now. So 13, right? 6, 13, those will be coming out in 7 frames, right? So that way any opponent slow pokes of 10 frames or attempt to jump will be clipped by those. So the sweep, the forward 2, the back 3, the forward 4 are very good ways to deal with slow buttons and jumps. Also you can also do the 4-4, you loop it, but the 4-4 only works for like jump attempts because they can always poke out of that. Also for slow buttons you can do a parry after this, so it will be like this. If you go for the slow button, they get clipped, but you can get poked out of that, and they can also jump out of that, but that also deals with like slower buttons. I'm going to show you the trick I use for gelling up the 4-4 and how I dash up the 4-4 to continue pressure. So now when you do 4-4 and you go for other options, right, a lot of people get poked out a lot in situations they shouldn't get poked out of because they couldn't get the gel right. So what I do is that when you do 4-4, the moment the Scarlet leg, like the second 4, right, the moment the leg touches the floor is when you input your next button. If you can see my input side, it touches the floor, then you go for it. Sorry. So that's the trick. I always watch her leg. The moment it's touching the floor is when you go for the next pressure to so that will help you not to drop it. I'll do a slow motion clip now. So there you could see both the animation and my inputs. So now if you want, for instance, you want to do a 4-4 dash of 4-4, right? So you do not waste a lot of time doing a dash into the next 4-4. What you do is that the moment the leg is about touching the floor, you dial in forward. So as you can see, the game will, like the dash will come out for you. So once you do that, you know that to continue off your next pressure tool, all you have to do is input your next button. So it will look like that. Let's try 1-4. So that will help you get a very clean dash out of your 4-4, and that is also how you jail the 4-4. So now let's get back to the video. Dealing with fast buttons and fast pokes, and this is the one that annoys Scarlet player the most, because you go for your 4-4 and you're trying to do something, you get poked or the start of combo. So now there are 4-4 options you go for. If you go for forward 4 and back 3, if you can get it frame perfect, the worst that can happen is that you trade with their 7 frame moves, but that isn't good enough. Why? Of course, because 4-4 is hard to jail, there are times you just get clipped by a poke instead of trading. So these are options that when you go for them, you'll be able to always hit them. It's not going to be a trade. So now let me start that. I'll go to rain. So the first one I have here is forward 2, and why forward 2 is very good because okay, wait, let me do one more thing with Scarlet. Sorry. So now as you can see, forwards for animation, right? Scarlet goes forward, so the opponent will always they can easily poke her leg, that is like up the jail. They can easily poke the forward advancing leg. The same with back 3. She takes a step forward. As you can see, her foot placements, there's a step forward, so they can easily poke that leg. But why forward 2 is a very good option to avoid a poke or a fast combo starter is that she stays in position, only a little movement forward, so it's very hard for them to poke you out of this option. So now I'll go back to what I want to show. Let's record Scarlet 4-4. Oh man. So let's try doing for his standing. Okay, let's try a poke. I didn't jail that properly. Oh. So that's what should happen if you do it properly. So yeah, down one will get clipped, and let's try standing 1. The standing one gets clipped. So forward 2 is a very good way to stop fast buttons and fast pokes. At the same time, it also covers jump. That's the previous one we talked about. Forward 2 covers the jump, and of course it covers slow buttons. So forward 2 is a very good option, one of the best options after the 4-4. Now the next thing I have here is the parry. So now if you do 4-4, you go for a parry. That covers the pokes. Of course most pokes cannot reach that range, but if there's a down one that has a good range, it's gonna hit them. It's gonna look like this. So now let's try standing 1. So that covers the fast buttons because they'll come into your parry animation and get clipped. It also covers some slower options like this, and let's try forward advancing options. So the parry is also the next option for covering that fast buttons and fast pokes, like the down one, because down 3s are usually low, so they easily beat out the parry. And now one of another very good option is to dash back into the back 1-2. So we'll do something like this to Scarlet. I hope I did that properly. So if they go for a down 1, you get your KB. Let's let them go for standing 1. You get your KB. Let's try a back 2. You get the KB, right? So the back one is a very good option. A dash back 3, or a dash back sweep also works very well. So let's try this. Oh, I don't know if I dashed back right there. Okay, I dashed back a bit, I think. So you can see. Then let's try not to waste any time, let's try back 3. A little dash back into the back 3, down 1. You can see what happened there, right? At times you can dash back a little more, but let's say if you go for the back 3 straight up without dash backing, this is how it looks like. Sorry. So let's try poking. That was a trade because I jailed it properly. So it's a okay. At that point, I won with rain. So as you can see, without the dash back, you either trade, or if you do not jail properly, they win. So that's why slight dash back into the sweep, the back 3. You can also do a slight back dash into the forward 2 if you do not believe you can jail it properly to stuff their fast buttons or poke. So now I'll move on to the next option, the next thing I have on my list here. So now I'll be talking about dealing with the stand and back dash type of opponents. So when Scarlet does have 4-4 on block, you know, in this game people crouch a lot, right? But if you stand on the second 4 normally, you can do a slight back dash and punish her pressure option. I'll show you that real quick with rain. So let me record something like this. Sorry, why do I keep messing that up? Let's so this is how it looks. Sorry, let's try the forward 2. So now if you stand on the second hit, you can dash back out of most of our pressure, as you can see, right? So why this is dangerous, that something like this could happen. Oh, sorry. So to prevent cases like that where they can dash back and punish your whiff, these are things you can go for. So the first one I have here is the back 3, and you know, in the last part of the video I talked about how the back 3, she steps forward a little, but now that little step forward is going to be what's going to help you clip their back dashing attempts. So this is why the back 3 isn't very good for like fast pokes or fast standing ones. It's good for if you read them like the stand and back dash, or if you see them standing on the second hit of the 4-4, then you know you can now go for these options. So now let's record the back 3. So let's try back dashing now. You see my back dash got clipped, right? So that's the first one. Now the second one I have on my list here is sweep. You know the sweep comes out in 15 frames, so you have a lot of frames to work with, so they can back dash out of it as well. Why do I keep messing this up? Let's try a back dash. Of course you can always back dash and block, but in general, like, they can't do the back dash into the whiff punishment because they're gonna get clips if they're trying to whiff punish you. Then now the next one I have here is a tiny dash into the forward 2. Yeah, the forward 2 again. You just do a little dash forward, then you clip their back dash. They can also whiff punish. Of course there is a risk of this because while you're doing like the dash up forward 2, you can then you're open to the fast buttons, but you know this game is all mind games. But at the same time, that is why I prefer options like the back 3, because the back 3 by itself is already good against pokes, because if you jail properly you trade, and if you go for slower options they get clipped. So the back 3 is a bit safer. Then you also have the dash up down for to stop back dashing, something like this. So now let's try a back dash. You see the down 4 is going to be there, so that way they can't back dash and whiff punish because they'll get clipped by that. Then one thing I forgot to mention earlier when I was talking about dealing with fast buttons is down 3. Scarlet's down 3 comes out in 11 frames, and this is +6, right? So meaning the opponent only have 5 frames, and there's nothing can come out in 5 frames. So if you aren't sure if they're going to backdash, use a fast button or jump, your best go-to button is going to be your down 3. So it's going to look like this. So let's try a fast button. I got clipped. Let's try a standing one. let's try jumping. I got clipped. Let's try jumping backwards. I got clipped. Let's try dashing backwards. So that is why down 3 is a legendary button when it comes to the 4-4 pressure. That's if your opponents like disrespecting you a lot. And down 3 is plus 14 on hits. So once they get clipped by down 3, you can go for your forward 2 and all other pressure she has. So the next thing I have on my list here is you can go for a projectile like the bloodshot, the cell siphon, I do not know if I pronounced that properly, or the boiling point to clip their backdash and wave punish attempts. So it's going to look like this. 4-4 bloodshot. So really wants to go for his wave punish KB. He gets clipped by the projectile. So that's how that goes. I'm using a fast projectile after the 4-4. It also works very well. It also works very well with sorry about the delay. It worked very well with his back forward 4. That's cell siphoning or cell siphon. I don't know how to pronounce that. So now we're here. So it's gonna be like this: 4-4. So let them go for a backdash. Of course, if they block that, is very risky. But if they're trying to wave punish you like I showed earlier. So now we'll move on to the next part of this video. So now I'm going to show you how to use projectiles or special, let's say special cancels to condition them to respect your 4-4 so you can go in for other mind games. So when you do 4-4, you can special cancel it into a projectile straight up. This covers all options we've been talking about. They can't poke, they can't backdash, they can't jump. As long as they've released block, they'll get clipped. And now she's plus 11, she can start her pressure with her forward 2 and stuff like that. So cancelling into bloodshot is very good. On block, let's see, it's just -4 on block, so yeah, she's pretty much safe at a good distance. Maybe she can throw in a down 3 to clip them trying to advance. So if you do 4-4 tentacle as well, as you can see, if they try doing anything, they get clipped. The 4-4 into this, the same thing, although this is a lot riskier. I'm sorry, they can't do anything. So cancelling 4-4 into specials is a very good way to you can do it into the boiling point as well. That's the low that does about 180 damage when amplified. 4-4 into specials are a very good way to make them hold that block. So now when you've conditioned them to hold block, this video isn't really about that, but you can now start doing stuff like this. You can go in for your grab, you can do something like this, go in for another grab, maybe forward this, you can do a short hop, you go for your low. You get what I'm trying to say. You can do you can do something like you can even jump at times if you've got them conditioned. If you're using the parry variation, you can start doing stuff like that. You get what I'm trying to say. You can just start messing with them once if they've been conditioned to block that. You can even start a 4-4 loop, and when they want to disrespect, they get clipped. So now this video has been a bit lengthy. I apologize for that, but I'm just going to go through some other things I have on my list. This really isn't about like pressuring off the 4-4, but it's like some things you can do. Now off the 4-4, you can go for a teleport usually to switch sides. Let me go to a variation that has teleports. So 4-4 into a teleport is just -6 on block, so it's a very good side switch when you find yourself in the corner. As you can see, just -6. So always keep that in mind when you are backed against the corner. 1, 2, 4 is also -6, but that has a gap. But either ways, you can also work. But 4-4 your teleports just -6, so it's a very good option. What this means also, you can use to set up the grab KB if you have, or just grab in general, because it being -6, they go for their poke, then you go for your grab KB. Also after teleporting, you can do a perfect block. Sorry, you perfect block their poke attempts or standing one attempt, and yeah, you get a free combo. So that is one thing you should know about the 4-4, using it as an escape tool and using it to bait buttons for the perfect block or for a grab. Also, when you have your Fetal Blow, it's a very dangerous and scary button because it's +6. So then with your Fetal Blow, you can always loop it. You could go for the 4-4 Fetal Blow straight up, just what you do with your specials. That'll clip them trying to move. Also, you can do the 4-4 delay forward walk into forward 4. And different options, but with a Fetal Blow, the 4-4 becomes a lot scarier, because if they get clipped by a mid trying to interrupt at the wrong time, you go into your Fetal Blow. Then using 4-4 with your hard grab otoshimi parry game. So first thing you do the 4-4, you know, after you've conditioned them to respect it, then you can now start doing like the 4-4 dash up grab, right? So that also means you can do the 4-4 dash up 1-2-4. At times they'll get shimmied. You can do 4-4, you can go back and do this. You can also do the 4-4 walk up parry, because while they're expecting this or the grab, they would like to do it down one at a time. So you just do something like this and go for a parry, they will get clipped. And what else do I have here? Also, you can use the 4-4. Of course, you can always do something like this. Go into a standing for its +1 and something like so. Different pressure options. Now, also, when you've conditioned your opponent to respect the 4-4, right? Sorry, please bear with me. This is the last section of this video. Bloody weather variation. So when you've conditioned your opponent to respect the 4-4 by everything you have seen in this video, like for instance, the 4-4, you know, once you've cancelled into specials a few times, right? So as you can see, her red rain, she has the stabbing animation. So the 4-4 tentacle and the 4-4 red rain is a bit similar, but it's -18. So be very careful with this. The same goes for 1-4 into the red rain. But why this works at times is that when, for instance, they're looking out for this or this, they might be looking out for more pressure. They could be looking out for that. So while they're looking out for all that, you just throw that real quick. Before they finish realizing what is going on, you are able to block. I saw Koizi also doing this in one of his newer videos. So it's possible, it can work possibly, but please study your opponents. Some very dangerous players, they have very good reactions, so you will just get punished for that. That's a good option also. So I hope you learned something from this video. As once again, I'm Smooth Razor, and I'll see you on the next video. Stay smooth as always. Yeah, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it.
Lovely with Razor.